Good morning, everyone. I am coming to you with my final post for my budget series. My final money saving tip today is about just saving in general and what seems to work for our family. I'm not saying it's going to work for every family, but it's the system that we found that works for us. So at the beginning of each month, I sit down with a budget worksheet. This is just one that I found that works for us. I'll post it up on the blog. But each month I sit down and write out the estimated cost or estimated budget for the month. Throughout the month, I save all of our receipts, writing at the top of each receipt which category it goes into, whether it's grocery, miscellaneous, out to eat, household, all different categories matching up with my budget sheet. Then at the end of each month, I sit down with all the receipts and kind of see where we were at with our spending. I kind of keep a running tally in my head a little bit throughout the month, but for the most part, sit down at the end of the month, figure out where we were, and then use that same budget sheet to go through and see where we were above and below. Any extra money that we didn't spend in each category, we choose not to roll it over each month. We put that into just our general savings fund. So then the next month it starts all over. One other thing that we have is we use different banks. We have our main bank where we have a checking account and a savings account, and that checking account is where our debit card is hooked up to. And then I choose to have savings accounts at another bank. The reason I do this is I am one that out of sight, out of mind. So if I had all of that money sitting in one savings account and divided it up, in my head, I would see a large sum of money there and not be near as careful with our spending. But having that money in a separate bank kind of keeps it out of sight, out of mind. At that separate bank, we have 4 different checking accounts. We have a Christmas account, we have a vacation account, we have a car account, and we have a household account. The Christmas account, I have a budget sheet that tells me how much I need to put in each month to have a certain amount at the end of the year. And then in our car fund, our vacation fund, and our house fund, we choose to put $100 a month in there. Sometimes it's more if we have leftovers. Our Christmas account typically has way more money in it than when we end up spending. So I roll the extra from that into our vacation fund, which is how we have been able to finally put away enough money to take our honeymoon. So we'll be heading to Jamaica in January because we've been putting the money away for it and saving for it. So that is how I do our savings. And like I said at the beginning, it's not necessarily what will work for everyone. But the nice part about the savings accounts at the different bank is I have an ATM card, but I do not have a debit card, so I can't just swipe and use it. Some people find using cash works best. Some people find using a card and just being careful works best. All depends on what works for you. If you have any questions, drop them below. I would love to answer them. Have a great day, and thanks for joining me on the Money Saving Tips series.